My dear 11th class students, this is the last video of this lesson titled as Education by Swami Vivekananda. This is on page number 44 of your Functional English Literature Reader book. So this is the last video of this lesson. In this section, he talks about ignorance, he talks about mistakes, he talks about willpower. He says that we commit mistakes because we are weak. Why do we do mistakes? Why do we commit mistakes? Because we are weak. And we are weak. Why are we weak? We are weak because we are ignorant. He says that we ourselves make ourselves ignorant. If we exercise our will, we can strengthen our will and thereby can ensure higher still. So just putting hands over eyes and weeping in dark is not going to help. For example, if there comes a situation which makes us sad or we feel hurt because of some incident, some accident, or something, God forbid, something bad happens to us, something very horrible happens to us, and then we start crying and crying, we start weeping, we put our hands or eyes and we start weeping in dark, we switch off the lights in our room and we start crying and weeping, putting hands over eyes. He says this is not going to help out. The will is very powerful. The will is very important. He says, you may say, what cannot I do? I can do this. I do everything. So he says that one should not underestimate himself or herself. One should have faith in himself. One should believe in himself. One should have courage. One should be brave. One should have strong willpower. One should not underestimate himself or herself. So don't underestimate yourself. Have strong will and believe in yourself. Weeping for your false steps is not going to help. For example, if we do something wrong step, we feel like, oh, I shouldn't do it, I did this but it was totally wrong. Fine, you did it, you cannot do anything now because you have already done it. But weeping for your false steps is not going to help. Weeping for that step which you later feel that you have done something wrong is not going to help it because you have already done that. Rather, it will weaken you. The more you think about it, you will be more weak. So if there is darkness, there is hope. If there is darkness, there is light also. If there is dusk, there is dawn is also there. Bring in the light and evil goes in a moment. Build up your own character yourself. This lesson, we completed this lesson, and I believe this lesson was very inspirational. A great message is conveyed to us. So, to conclude, I would like to say that it's true, we cannot blame others, rather, we can make our own character. We can make our character good as well as bad. We can make it good by reforming ourselves, by changing our bad thoughts, bad impressions, bad activities. We can by changing our habits. So we should look within, we should help ourselves to make our character good. The help, we do not need somebody else help. The help will come within. And we have this ability to build our character. None other but one can do it, himself or herself. We should be now well aware about this fact that habits play a role. a great role in making a character. We should now be able to understand how thoughts play a role in making a character of a person, how good thoughts leave a good impression, how bad thoughts leave a bad outcome. So these thoughts, these habits, their role is very important, so one should be very careful about these things, and how ignorance play a role in committing mistakes. And we also came to know about having a strong willpower, about not losing hope, about believing in oneself, about not being dependent on others, and not weeping for false steps, and learning from mistakes. So this was something very inspirational, and a good lesson, good message was conveyed, how to live a real, this is really something which teaches us how to build up a good character, the real and practical approach to live a life peacefully, how to build a character, how to reform things, how to reform bad activities, bad actions, bad thoughts, how to control, how one can control one's thoughts, how one can change one's habits. So this was very inspirational. One can get a great ideas and opinions, ideas from this lesson. So this was all about this chapter number 7, education by Swami Vivekananda. Thank you so much.